contribution side, yes, in our little talk shop on the program Conversation. Once again, is the program on OLUYOLEFM 98.5 in Ibadan, and of course networking with Okeogun 96.3 FM, Alaga, yes, and Agility 92.1 FM, Gambari, Ogbomoso. And of course, you can check us up on Facebook. You'll meet us there. No one beats that reach. No station beats that reach. Conversation is a program, and like I said, well, being back on this, my name, however, let me just introduce my name, although, well, sometimes no need to introduce names. Now, there are so many, stories making the rounds across the country. I have, for now, I have the Vanguard and Tribune with me here. Maybe Tola will come with another, yes, he's coming with another newspaper, a third newspaper. Confusion over alleged kidnap of 172 worshippers in 3 Kaduna churches. Well, sad development. And well, the Northern CAN, that is the Christian Association of Nigeria, says they will not give up. And well, they added that 172 were said to have been kidnapped, 9 escaped. No one was kidnapped in Kajuru, says the police. Council chairman, abduction exposes grave security failure. That is according to the People's Democratic Party's allegation. Well, we don't know. We'll go through the story later on during the program. Kano Governor Yusuf meets President Tinubu. Defects to APC today. That is another loss to another party. Well, I don't know. Massacre of Christians, what we told the New York Times bureau chief, that is talking about McLean, according to Inter-Society. Well, DSS, that is the Directorate of State Services, arrests Malami after release from Kuje prison. Yes, he was released and arrested again. IMF released Nigeria's 2026 growth forecast to 4.4%. And well, alleged cyberbullying, police file 6-count charge against Tom Onojobi, demands doctor for issuing alleged fake report for her. And well, federal government denies citing gold refinery in Lagos. And brain diseases on the rise, but prevention cure missing in Nigeria. That is according to a neurologist. Yes, we'll go through these stories, these headlines, after this short timeout. Please stay with us.
tó jẹ́ pé ìwọ ló dáhùn ìpè mi.
ọ̀rẹ́ tójú fóònù ẹ̀ dáadáa kó wo ẹni tó pè jàre.
ẹ̀yà àwọn bọ́tìnì orí fóònù yìí ti wẹ́ jù kó rọrùn láti kà. Ọlámídé ni mo fẹ́ pè jàre.
wo ọ̀rẹ́ ó yẹ kó wá lọ ṣàyẹ̀wò ojú ẹ̀ níbùdó ìlera o kó o sì gba ìgò ìrírun náà.
máa gbọ́ ìgò ìríran níbùdó ìlera bíi ti báwo.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni tó bá ti pé ọmọ ọdún márùndínlógójì tàbí jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ wá lọ ṣe àyẹ̀wò ojú ẹ lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ wàá sì gba ìgò ìríran lówó tí ò gara láwọn ibùdó ìlera tá a ti yà sọ́tọ̀ nítòsí rẹ.
bá a ti ń dàgbà lójú wa nílò àtìlẹyìn díẹ̀ láti ríran kedere yọjú sí ibùdó ìlera kan nítòsí rẹ fún àyẹ̀wò ojú lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ àti fún ìgò ìríran lówó tí ò gara lónìí láti mọ ìyàtọ̀ pé 0706-489-9614 fún àlàyé síwájú sí àmì 0706-489-9614. ìkéde yìí wá látọ̀dọ̀ National Eye, Ear and Sensory Functions Health Program ti Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare pẹ̀lú àjọṣe Vision Spring Nigeria. Vision Spring ríran kedere gbé ìgbé ayé àlàáfíà.
Conversation.
Yes, the program is still Conversation on OLUYOLEFM 98.5 in the city of Ibadan here. Yes, of course, Tola has just come in with one more newspaper. Yes, that is The Punch. And yes, so many stories here now that we have. And of course, one story that is really disturbing, yes, and it will be disturbing to Nigerians. It will be disturbing to the government. It might not well be disturbing to those politicians that are, funding all these criminals that call themselves Muslims, kidnapping people. Yes, there is confusion now over the alleged kidnap of 172 worshippers in 3 Kaduna churches. Yes, they said 172. The police are, saying that no one was kidnapped in Kaduna. Yes, we don't know what is really happening.
And the chairman of the
local government
also says no one was kidnapped. Well, it says that Kaduna State Commissioner of Police, Alhaji Muhammad Rabiu, has described the reported kidnap of over 100 worshippers at Kajuru as a rumor peddled by conflict entrepreneurs who want to destabilize the state. Addressing members of the State Security Council meeting at Sir Kashim Ibrahim House on Monday, the police commissioner challenged anyone to list the names of the kidnapped victims and other particulars. The CP warned the rumor mongers to desist from trying to derail the prevailing peace in the state, threatening that the wrath of the law on such merchants of falsehood. Also speaking, chairman of Kajuru local government, Dauda Madaki, said when he heard the rumored attack, he mobilized the police and other security forces to calm Wali, but found that there was no such incident. We visited the church where the so-called kidnap took place. There was no evidence of the attack, as the village head Medan Zaria, and they said there was no such attack. I also called the youth leader of the area, Bernard Ebona, who was interviewed by newsmen who accompanied me, and they said no such thing happened. Okay, he went on and on. But in his response, the Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Sude Shoibu, SAN, said the chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, and other religious leaders have interacted with the people of the area where the so-called kidnapping occurred. They found out what was pushed out to the public sphere was completely false, he said. Well, I'm not doubting the narrative of the Kaduna State government and other state actors, but I wish we could also hear very directly from the mentioned churches
Yes.
And from CAN itself, what we have heard so far is from the police, the commissioner of police, the local government chairman, and the special advisor, and the commissioner for internal security and home affairs. And then, while I'm not doubting the veracity of their rebuttal in this matter, at the same time, people tend to think that state actors have that tendency to be economical with the truth. So people want to hear directly, more directly, from those who are said to have been affected. That is talking about those churches.
Yes.
And then, so I don't know if that.
Well, I have some reactions here. Yes, according to they say the confusion enveloped the state over the alleged kidnap of 172 worshippers, and the churches, according to this, included the Equa Church and Cherubim and Seraphim churches. They were said to have been attacked on Sunday by the terrorists who shot sporadically to scare away residents before swooping on the worshippers. And while the chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, in the 19 northern states, Reverend Joseph John Ayab, confirmed that over 170 worshippers were abducted in the 3 churches. The Kaduna State Command of the Nigeria Police Force and chairman of the local government area said no such kidnap happened. But residents said the terrorists carried out the coordinated attacks on 3 churches in Kurminwali community during Sunday services. They said the attackers, who arrived in large numbers, struck almost simultaneously, encircling worship centers and whisking away congregants into nearby forest. And local sources also said the attackers arrived in large numbers, firing shots to scare residents before rounding up worshippers, including women and youths. So that is another angle. We don't know who is. We don't know.
Well, over 100 people. If this actually happened, it cannot be hidden. In the days ahead, the truth will come out if indeed it happened. But what I do know, Bimbo, is that it will be very, very embarrassing and grossly annoying if the Kaduna state government and other state actors, the police, are being economical with the truth over this. We are not talking about chickens here, we are talking about human beings that were kidnapped. So if anyone is trying to cover up what actually happened, I'm not saying it happened, Bimbo, because of course the police have denied this, the local government chairman, and we should be able to believe them. But then, Joseph Ayap, the Reverend, is he also a conflict entrepreneur? Like the Commissioner of Police has described those who made this public.
Yes, what about the residents? The residents that observed what happened.
So I don't know, but we need to know more. We actually need to know more. And like I said, I believe in the days ahead we will actually get to know what actually transpired. There is no smoke without fire.
Yes.
And then something must have happened to trigger this kind of narrative.
Yes, and well, the PDP, the People's Democratic Party, is reacting, yes, to the abduction of worshippers. The party yesterday described it as a grave indictment of the security architecture of the federal government. And the PDP, in a statement by its National Publicity Secretary, Mr. Ini Enemobong, expressed deep sympathy to the families of the victims, noting that the incident has plunged many households into agony and uncertainty.
And the Commissioner of Police asking for a list. That's a silly thing to ask for at this point in time. It's asking for a list of those that were kidnapped. It's challenging whoever is saying this to come up with a list. You can't come up with a list just immediately after such an incident happens. It will take time for you to do a manifest and ascertain the number of those that were actually kidnapped. But like I said, I want to be able to believe him, Bimbo. I want to be able to believe the local government chairman. I want to be able to believe the commissioner for internal and home affairs. I want to be able to believe the Kaduna state government that this did not happen. But it will be, like I said, it will be very, very embarrassing and most annoying if we find out that they were only trying to do crisis management in the most warped and unintelligent way. But then, like I said, I want to be able to believe them. I want to believe them that it did not happen. But away from that now. Federal government denies citing gold refinery in Lagos. Oh, let's see what that's all about.
Gold
refinery. Okay, the Federal Minister of Solid Mineral Development has dismissed claims by the Northern Elders from NEF that the federal government cited the gold refinery in Lagos in violation of the federal character principle. Here we go again, this federal character thing.
Yes.
And I don't know what the Northern Elders are talking. They have been the biggest beneficiaries of federal character in almost everything, up to the matter of university admissions and even job placements and the federal civil service. Educational disadvantaged areas and all that. So now, if indeed the gold refinery was cited in Lagos, I wonder. Well, let's wait further. It said the allegations contained in the statement signed by the Northern Elders from NEF spokesperson Professor Abubakar Jidere were untrue and misleading. In a statement in Abuja, Mr. Segun Tomori, Special Assistant to the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dr. Dele Alake, said the minister had not made any such announcement. There was no way the Minister of Solid Minerals announced that the federal government owned or established a gold refinery in Lagos or anywhere for that matter. Federal government denies citing gold refinery in Lagos.
Refinery, do they refine gold? I'm hearing that for the first time.
Oh, it has to be refined. It has to go through
some processes.
It has to go through the furnace.
Okay.
It comes out crude, raw.
Raw, yes.
And it looks very ugly when you bring it out of the ground.
Yes.
So it has to go through some processes. You add value. That process adds value to it.
Well, Tola, I'm seeing something here, but I'll go through that story later after this page is opened. Talking about agreement with some bandits. Talking about amnesty for about 70 of them. Well, I will get through that later during the program.
Okay, we have a commercial break?
No.
Okay.
Yes, another story is staring you in the face.
IMF raises Nigeria's 2026 growth forecast to 4.4%. And also have this one. Ondo judicial crisis deepens as budget cuts, autonomy dispute paralyze courts. To resolve their differences, they should resume soon, says Ondo Justice Commissioner. That's coming all the way from Ondo State. And this one was a banner headline before me this morning. It says DSS arrests Malami after release from Kuje prison. Mr. Malami is indeed in trouble.
Yes, from frying pan to fire.
And I believe that probably maybe as ruffled privileged feathers, like I always say, maybe has stepped on toes. It's unusual in our system for people like this to find themselves in this kind of trouble. But now, and I also, well, my personal thoughts here, I'm thinking that maybe it could be because he has certain political ambitions and is not nursing that ambition on the right platform. Maybe that's why somebody went digging. His recent past, digging into his recent past, and they brought this up against him. But like I always say, even if you are a victim of vendetta, if you are clean, you will indeed come out clean. If you are clean, you will come out clean. So, but if you are dirty and you have huge skeletons in your cupboard, of course, you have to answer to the hound that has been set after you, and the hound will eventually catch up with you. So, let's see the travels of Mr. Malami and what he's going through right now. The Department of State Services (DSS) arrested the former Attorney General and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami SCN on Monday, shortly after his release from Kuje Correctional Center. Our sources close to the administration in Abuja told the Nigerian Tribune that the former minister was arrested for further investigations in respect of alleged discovery of arms in his country home in Kebbi State by operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) during a search. A source close to the development said that the arrest has nothing to do with the previous charges for which Malami was remanded in Kuje Correctional Center. It was gathered that the EFCC on discovery of the items handed the relevant items to the DSS for further investigation. A source close to the matter confirmed Malami's arrest, saying yes, it is true that DSS operatives arrested Abubakar Malami SAN. There are several petitions against him bordering on alleged terrorism and financing. Well, I think the DSS also has to prove that those arms were indeed found in his residence.
Yes.
And maybe he had licenses for them, and maybe considering the situation up north in that part of the country, maybe he was keeping the arms to defend himself.
What I want us to realize is the arms. I'm sure it may not be just one. It might be at least to some substantial, amount. Is he the only one that will operate the arms?
Well, these movies that we watch, these American movies, Rambo and all that. So if you have those kind of arms that Rambo carries, and you know how to use them the way Rambo uses them, or the way what's this man's name?
Sylvester
Stallone. And then there's this other one,
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
There is one that is a French replica. I'm forgetting his name, but a French replica of those ones. Those ones are the American ones, but then this one that is the French replica of them. I remember his face very well now. And they started the quite a number. So if you are that good with the weapons, then maybe that's why he was keeping them. But like I said, the DSS also needs to establish that fact that those arms were indeed found in his residence. They were not planted there to further indict him. But like I said, he must come to equity. He must come with clean hands, even if you are being witch hunted. And well, if there's no witch hanging around your neck, then the witch hunters would have nothing to hunt.
Now, this one, still talking about, like I said earlier, the 70 bandits that have been in the agreement about amnesty, and there have been reactions. Prominent socio-political organizations, including Afenifere, Arewa Consultative Forum, Awana Izendigbo, the Middle Belt Forum, and others, have expressed outrage over a plan by the Katsina State government to release 70 bandits as part of measures to patch up a floundering peace pact with bandit leaders. That is what you have been talking about all along. Here we go again.
They still strike in Katsina, despite that it's not working.
It is
and I guess the reason they have insisted on that is because some government officials are feeding fat. Well, possibly the governor himself are feeding fat. So, and I have no apologies for saying this. How can you say you are granting amnesty to cutthroats and killers, whereas you keep their victims in IDP camps in very, very squalid conditions, and you see nothing wrong with that? So, like I always say, when Mr. Trump came calling and they said that he was going to come in guns blazing to destroy terrorist scum, why didn't they tell him that the best thing to do was to sit down with these people and grant them amnesty? Why did they try to convince him to also sit down at table with them and have tea with the terrorists?
Of course,
if the American president cannot come and have tea with the terrorists, why not convince the American senators, especially the one who raised the issue of
who blew the whistle.
But when it comes to us, we are the ones that will be selling that idiotic narrative to, that the best thing is to sit down with these people, offer them tea,
but you know the United States, Democrats, Republicans, all those in power, either Republican or Democrats, United States will never, they will not convince, they cannot convince, especially Donald Trump. United States does not negotiate with terrorists. Yes, they will come down hard on them.
You see, even if where they have to,
no matter whose ox is God,
even where they have to bury their pride and negotiate, they don't rub it in your faces. It's always covertly done. They will do it in secret. They'll do it under cover of darkness. They won't rub it in your faces and start celebrating that as an achievement. I don't know, that irresponsible government is now celebrating this as an achievement. When the government is leaving office, it's going to list that as one of its achievements in office. Granting amnesty to terrorists, patting killers on the head, and encouraging other people, other young people to become killers.
Yes.
That is what they celebrate as achievements in this part of the world.
Well, it is just rather unfortunate. And quickly before we take this commercial, the groups in separate interviews described the move as reckless and a danger to national security, calling on the federal government to halt the provocative action. And also religious and community leaders in Katsina State voiced strong opposition to the proposed amnesty for the bandits, whom they described as a grave threat to the state. Well, that's the situation on ground now.
They will now show them on televisions and show Ashwebi for them, uniforms for them.
Yes.
Like I said, they'll be celebrating that as an achievement. Even if you want to do it covertly and then send them to farms to go and work to produce food for the people.
Yes,
you can make them comfortable as long as they are doing something fruitful. But no, you're treating them as if they are very special people. Let's have this commercial break. We'll be right back.
Conversation.
Any motor where you dey drive, you need confirm protection, no. For your engine, no. Get your make a mobile, make it mobile, oh, make it mobile. Yeah. Anywhere you dey, your motor deserve to be number one, yo. Make it mobile, oh, make it mobile. Yeah. You carry the go, make everybody join me, say, make it mobile.
Make you go with the best.
Make it mobile.
Hello.
Olumide, why you dey answer the phone now?
Oh boy, look again, make you see who call you.
Chai! Omo, this small text no easy to read again, no. Now Olamide be one call.
It be like Satan don't reach for you to enter one health outlet. Make them help you check your eye. Make you can also arrange reading glasses.
Reading glasses for health outlets?
Well, if you don't reach your past 35 years, you fit get free vision screening and reading glasses wey dey affordable for some health outlets wey near you.
As we don dey age, our eyes need small support to take dey see well. Enter any health outlet wey near you for free eye check. Come get reading glasses wey dey affordable to take dey see well. Green us for 0706 489 9614 for more information. Na 0706 489 9614. Na the National Eye, Ear and Sensory Functions Health Program of the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare. They partner with Vision Spring Nigeria to bring you this message. Vision Spring. See well. Do well.
Conversation.
Right, we're back, and the program is still Conversation on Oluyole 98.5 FM.
Tola, you know what? Here we go again. Talking about the army, talking about mutiny and alleged rumors. I had the story that some soldiers, I think about 2 days ago, were trying to, demonstrate or, just raise issues that their allowances and all those salaries and all were not being paid, and they were trying to make trouble. I saw the story online anyway, social media, but now the army is dismissing this rumor. Army dismisses mutiny rumors, restates commitment to troops welfare, just like the other one that happened the other time. The Nigerian Army has dismissed as false and misleading a report alleging that soldiers were threatening mutiny over salaries and allowances, describing the publication as a deliberate attempt to undermine public confidence and national security. And in a statement issued by the Acting Director, Army Public Relations, Colonel Apollonia Anele, the Army said the report was sensational, unverified, and unsupported by facts. The Army, which noted that at no time was there any threat of mutiny within its ranks, and instead, mutiny is a grave offense under military law and is alien to ethos, discipline, and professionalism of Nigerian Army personnel who remain loyal to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. Well, they are talking about mutiny, focusing on mutiny, that, well, it is a grave offense and that, yes, nothing of such happened, but were their salaries and allowances paid, or were they not paid?
Well, when these things happen, the narrative is always the same. The army comes up. Hardly would you see the military high command admitting that this ever happened. It's always a series of denials. And of course, if there indeed was an attempt at mutiny, the ringleaders will be rounded up and then seriously dealt with, will be put away for a very, very long time. Of course, carried out what the military prescribes for mutiny might be a bit harsh, and maybe it could be planned, it could be covertly done. That is the penalty for mutiny is that you will be shot.
Yes,
somebody be executed. But then I don't think that happens again in our own climate. So what they do mostly is that they deal ruthlessly with the ringleaders, and then everything just goes dark, everything just goes quiet. And maybe some years from now, one of those who are victims, when they eventually regain their freedom, can tell their story post this particular administration. So I'm not saying there was a mutiny, and like in the case of what happened in Kaduna, I want to believe the military high command that this did not happen, but I'm just saying that this is the usual narrative. We heard the story of a possible mutiny, and then the army comes up to deny, just like the coup story. And then so and no one has been able to ascertain whether it actually happened or not, but we are also aware that series of arrests were made for reasons that are not clear around that period in the military high command and in the intelligence community. So, well, so much for that, Bimbo. And then Ekiti, PDP, SDP missing. INEC clears APC, 11 others in final candidates list. So, a sign of what is to come, especially for the PDP in different parts of the country, unless by some miracle they're able to get their acts together. So they are missing now. That means they won't be participating in the Ekiti governorship polls coming up later this year. And okay, going outside Nigeria now.
Yes, before update on Trump and the Greenland issue. Before we go outside Nigeria, see. Anti-Tinubu post. Federal government amends charges against Showore, deletes Facebook, X, and his trial begins January 22. The federal government has amended the cybercrime charges it filed against activist and former presidential candidate of the African Action Congress, Oluyole Showore, for calling President Bola Tinubu a criminal in a publication he made on social media platform. And in the amended charge dated December 4, 2025, the federal government delisted the two social media platforms where the post was shared on X Incorporated, known as Twitter formerly, which were initially Twitter and Meta, which were initially cited as second and third defendants in the matter. And the amended charge was signed by a team of prosecutors comprising 3 senior advocates of Nigeria, SANs, led by Mr. Akinolu Kende, SAN. And it goes on and on and on. The case of Showore has been, a controversial issue and has been in court for a long time.
But world won't be safe without U.S. control of Greenland, says President Trump. Dismisses peace after Nobel snub. And U.S. President Donald Trump has declared that global security depends on Washington having complete and total control of Greenland, saying he no longer feels obliged to think purely of peace. Do you hear that, Bimbo? He no longer feels obliged to think purely of peace. After being overlooked for the Nobel Peace Prize. He said he was awarded for the Nobel Peace Prize. Is he a man of peace? Hey, the Major Muhandis and this Trump's remarks published on Monday escalated tensions between the United States and its European allies, following new threats to take over the vast Arctic territory, which is an autonomous region under Denmark. According to the AFP, the comments have triggered sharp reactions across Europe, with leaders accusing Washington of blackmail and preparing possible trade retaliation. In a message sent to Norwegian Prime Minister Jonas Gahr Store and made public on Monday, Trump insisted that the world is not secure, unless we have complete and total control of Greenland. So for someone like me, President Trump has shown me that if he has control of Greenland, that the problem in Sudan will be solved. Because he said world peace. That Yemen would be safe from conflict.
Yes.
That
South Sudan.
You already mentioned Sudan. That Ukraine would be at peace. That the Israeli-Palestinian conflict would be over. Now, it's not turning a so-called overtures to bring world peace to those areas. It's Greenland where there is something to gain, where something at stake for the Americans. That's where he's turning his attention. And like I said yesterday, how come other American leaders never saw this possibility? It has to be him to discover this possibility, to discover this potential of Greenland to bring peace to the entire world. So he has to be the one to discover it. But I'm happy for one thing, Bimbo. It's not going to be a pushover for him this time around, because I'm sure the other European countries are going to give him a very good run. Yes. And I'm sure the British that have only made only subtle comments on this, they're also watching very keenly. And we'll wait and see how maybe he thinks he's dealing with Venezuela or Nigeria.
Trying to deal with Colombia too.
So, and he has repeatedly justified his interest in Greenland on national security grounds, argued that Denmark cannot adequately defend the mineral-rich island against threats from Russia and China. So why did they jump to Ukraine's defense when Russia invaded Ukraine? When Russia also said that Ukraine, by joining NATO, will be threatening its own national security, its own sovereignty. That was why the Russians went into Ukraine, because they said their joining NATO was a threat to their national security. So why was he so miffed when the Russians did that? Why was his country now supplying arms to Ukraine to defend itself? So if you believe you have a right to annex Greenland to protect Washington, then so also the Russians have a right to invade Ukraine if that is what is going to protect Moscow. So, well,
to protect his country, that is Trump. Why does he always he's always thinking in the negative way, pessimistic? Why is he always thinking that something serious will happen to the US if a country does this or does that, displays arsenal?
It's just a bully. He's busy stealing Venezuelan oil from the high seas.
Yes.
He's a thief, Bimbo. I'm sorry to use that ash remark that against him.
With due respect.
With due respect. Now, he now says he no longer feels obliged to think purely of peace after being overlooked for the Nobel Peace Prize. So he thinks that prize is up for grabs, and it will rightly come to him because it's Donald Trump. Not for anything else, simply because it's Donald Trump. I'm not sure the man looks back at himself, or maybe he even looks into the mirror of his own activities at all.
Now, Tola, coming back home now, quickly before we go to the phone lines, defection again. Kano.
Conversation.
our sincere apologies for that break in transmission. And we were talking about the American president, Donald Trump. Apologies for calling him a thief again. Well, that's we don't allow that kind of language on the program.
Yes, well, I was on to the defection issue now. During further postponements, Governor Abba Yusuf will defect to the All Progressives Congress (APC) today. Kano State Chairman of the party, Abdullahi Abbas, said, "I don't really know which party he belonged to before he became governor. I'm not too sure." Now, sources told the Vanguard that the defection move was one of the reasons President Bola Tinubu met behind closed doors with the Kano State governor yesterday, and Yusuf's expected defection from the new Nigeria People's Party. Okay. Yes. Had caused APC leaders to delay membership re-registration in Kano as the exercise started 2 weeks ago in many states and would end in 2 weeks' time.
Conversation.
Apologies again for that break in transmission. The program is still Conversation. We have a commercial break and we'll be right back.
Conversation.
Èyíkéyìí ọkọ̀ tó bá ń wà. Onílọ àkóso péye. Máa dágunlá jẹ́ kó jẹ́ mú bí o. Níbikíbi tó bá wà ló fún ojúlówó. Bóyá sọ pé. Jẹ́ kó jẹ́ mú bí o. Bóbi ní ṣúlẹ̀ ọjọ́. Jẹ́ kó jẹ́ mú bí o. Lọ pẹ̀lú ojúlówó.
Hello?
Olumide, why are you answering the phone?
Check again and see who you called.
Hey, small letters are not easy to read, you know. I wanted to call Olamide.
I think it's time for you to go to a health outlet to check your eyes and get reading glasses.
Health outlet? For reading glasses?
Yes. If you're 35 years or older, receive free vision screening and affordable reading glasses at designated health outlets near you.
As we age, our eyes need a little support to see clearly. Visit a health outlet nearby for a free eye check and affordable reading glasses today to see the difference. Call 0706-489-9614 for more information. That's 0706-489-9614. This message is brought to you by the National Eye, Ear and Sensory Function Health Program of the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare in conjunction with Vision Spring Nigeria. Vision Spring. See well, do well.
Conversation.
We're back and it's good to know you are still there. Time to open the phone lines. 070-5555-1985. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Abiola, Mr. Abiola.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. John calling from Oluyole.
Good to have you, Mr. John.
It is true everybody know by you. Now, counter claim and denial of church's member being kidnapped. In the next few days, the truth will unveil. But the fact remains, how long do we continue this way? I'm not a fan of negotiation with the bandits. But when you are not ready to defeat them, what do? Will you leave it that way? It's like the bandits are taking over the political structure of the North. And in the military, they are recruited over the years, rank and file into the military. That is why you see Tokano dead being used in Southeast against Kano dead, and heavy weapons being used against Sunday Adeyemo in Ibadan. Yet those ammunition were never used in the North, except when Donald Trump came on board. So for how long will we continue this way? Everybody is getting tired. I want to believe there is a case of kidnapping. It is my own opinion. But it is political. Our politicians should be very careful. Just because you want to be a president does not mean you to put this country in chaos. If this country is in chaos, who will you govern when you now become president? Who will you govern? And I hope this bandit does not have a link to whoever becomes president in this country. Because I begin to think that even when Buhari used to got that 11 million votes without winning, constantly without spending money, is it that I'm not calling Buhari a terrorist, but I begin to link those votes that also help Tinubu get into power? Is it that those votes have a link about who becomes president in this country? We wait and see. Enjoy your discourse.
Thank you very much,
Mr. John. 082-550-09850 070-5555.
Good morning.
Everyone who was among the people that voted, I'm not going to say that the first time people might not know, but everybody who is involved in voting with second part just like is part of it. In fact, what we ask them, we have just made it, what do they vote? Because you are one of the people in this country that are voting. Because if we all saw that thing down in 2018, 2018, and some people still went ahead to attend their vote, their talk, to vote Calvin against 2019. I don't know what the government is going to do, to convince you to vote for it. But people still went ahead and vote for it the time. The man had everything of security of the country. So everybody that is involved in voting in second time 2019 will be asked by God, why did you vote this money? Because we are not blind when all these things will happen. I want to believe the bishop that spoke, because the bishop in Kaduna is an authority. He spoke that people were kidnapped. The police said people were not kidnapped. So I want to believe the bishop, because he said that people are children and something like that. So I want to believe the bishop. So let's see what will happen. Now the issue of Greenland and Trump. I saw the carrier that put the aircraft of the French, the Italians, the European guys there. I saw the carrier that carried their aircraft to Greenland. And I saw the manufacturers, the Americans. I just look at them and laugh. You are using people here that you are working with the manufacturer of your Boeing aircraft that carry your warship to a place. I just look at them up. The way we do things as ordinary people and certain things, different from the way what power do them, they think ahead because of the security of their people and security of the nation. That's how they think. It might not be reasonable to us, it's reasonable to them. Look, it's not Trump that started this thing. That's the Venezuelan thing as the horns, the Obama this. They are past that man. But nobody is good enough to go there and carry the man. It was this one, over there. It was the one that went there and carried them. Every American president has targeted Venezuela. But it's one that is good enough to go and get. Greenland has been on their history. So that's the job. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Also, 55551985. So squeezing one or two more calls.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm a little area. I'm a better credentials. Everything no. Government, no. The they should go to the area and talk to the people. And then they have the truth. They are doing packaging. Now, so they will come to this here and there. If you know let the truth, you're not going to worry yourself. Go and dig to bandits. Like the other Nigeria. And cannot go to the truth. And although all the night issues, all the kind of everything, look at you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We have to go. We don't have a sense conversation this morning, and we'll be back same time tomorrow morning, God willing. My name is Tola Teriba.
And my name is Bimbo Akombi. And yes, of course, Tidbits, Sports Tidbits is next. And of course, Victor and, well, let me just say Victor is around here.
Just one girl this time around.
Yes, we'll be talking about today's matches, that is talking about the Champions League, the results of all other competitions that have gone, then the FIFA ranking. Nigeria now 26th in the world, 3rd in Africa. Well, how this came about, he will explain to you and other stories. Good morning.
Beautiful Tuesday morning right here in the studios of Oluyole 90.5 FM. Welcome right here to our final rendition of our Sport Tidbits right here. And of course, you already know it's the Master Chef right on seat, ready to serve you all the best of the stories making the runs in the ever exciting with sports. All this morning, there's quite a number of stories to touch on, and yes, I'm sure that you guys are locked in, fully ready for what we're serving right about now. But anyways, we'll be opening the phone lines at some point so that you guys can get in contact with us, and of course, we'll get talking on Vibe right here. And from this side is peace. And of course, remember I said Tuesday. And yes, Yinka joins me right here for the first time on the show. Well, we're starting from the NBA, where we saw action yesterday. The early hours of this one, beg your pardon, Philadelphia 76ers got a victory over Indiana Pacers. And of course, we saw Phoenix Suns shining brighter than Brooklyn Nets, 126 to 117. It ended right there. And of course, we saw the Detroit Pistons getting just that marginal difference to edge it over Boston Celtics. It was 104 to 103. And of course, you talk about the highest scoring game. Golden State Warriors, well, they were too hot for Miami Heat to handle, and yes, it was quite strikingly